So just to let you know, now that you're sitting down, we are now filming everything. So
Beautiful.
some of this stuff may end up in the podcast at the beginning before the titles begin. So we're just getting settled, but we're filming everything.
We're on the record, is what you're saying.
Look at this merch. Look at this merch. Get that filmed.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
It's so nice to see you like together because we always see like one of you or the other or whatever, and it's like
we actually divorced 20 years ago.
I know, it's like you play a big game.
Do you want me to do something with that?
Aye, so we're just sorting the cameras. So would you want to Julie to go a wee bit left or right or?
No, Jules is absolutely fine. I think we actually were both fine.
They're both fine. Okay, you need to get quite close because it's one of those isolated mics, and it's
That kinda
like
makes you
kind of
focus.
late night Greg.
Isn't it, Kat?
Stevie Ray. Look to the fog.
How come you're not putting yours on?
I'm going to put them on actually.
He's always a rebel. I'm just saying this now.
So was he not putting them on because we were putting them on?
Yeah, he's that guy.
No, do you know what? Whenever I've done anything, Janice was like, I always just like the freedom of that, but I always get that.
I know. Stop popping.
Greg's mic might be needed to be put up a tiny wee bit more, my man. But you can have a wee listen once we get in.
This is a great setup.
Isn't it
Yes,
brilliant?
Because I thought we were going to go to Clyde, and then Jules went, no, it's a
proper
factory in
studio.
Wicklow, and I thought, we're getting murdered. Like Joe Pesci, he's about to get made.
Yes, he's like, oh, look at this. And then the penny drops.
Yeah.
Boom.
He goes, shit.
Yes. So did you have the fear when driving in today?
You're like
A wee bit, because I was like that. I don't think it's right. I said to you, it's near the fort. And he was like, Jules, the fort's gone. We are not at the fort.
No.
But we're fit. It's good.
You got
it's like
here.
a mystery place, but we like it.
Aye.
I was like, where is this? And Jules was like, I know what's it like. But then she's texting you, and every 30 seconds, I was like, yeah, I think I could well be getting murdered here.
Right, well, I'm going to just get this out of the road. We fell out in the car, right, because Greg...
What, driving in?
Yes, Greg was like talking, right, and he doesn't wake up as quick as me when he's talking, and I've got the sat nav's on, so he when he's driving is like that, and I'm like, you need to look at the map. I was putting the war paint on, and then he got raging because he went the wrong way. He went to Stirling, and then he went mental, and I was like, I'm going to tell them that when we get there. And I went, what an atmosphere. And he's like, for God's sake, Jules. And I was like, excuse me, you were driving. So
It was his fault at the end of the day, wasn't it?
yes, you're 27.
Are we all good to go officially?
yes.
Right.
So just rock it.
Jules, are you happy?
So happy.
Greg, are you happy?
More than happy. I'm beyond happy.
That's like ecstatic.
Yeah. Ben, are you okay? Jamie, are you okay? Kat, are you okay?
I am fine. I would actually like to back her up and say do watch with it.
Yeah.
That.
I will actually
So-
do watch for that. Now that's all I'm going to be able to do. You know what I mean?
We're going to sat there like that, scared to lean on the table.
I was about to say Greg's handsy, but that's wrong.
As we've just found out, that's not the case.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, yes, when you're first dating. Right, can we officially start the show then?
Let's go.
Okay then. Right, cue the titles.
Bottom of the stairs, deed. I'm going to get everybody an oyster and a cone.
So how long do you have to wait for it to pop back out?
Till it thaws.
It's like it's in the same category as dry riding.
I just got fucking tilt there.
Hello and welcome along to the Ewen Cat UNCUT podcast, and we're delighted to have two amazing people who I have, to be honest with you, never seen together until today. and they've been an item for 23 years, but I don't think I've ever seen them on screen together. I don't think I've been at an event and seen them together. I'm beginning to think they might not exist, these two people.
They definitely exist.
Well, they're sitting in front of us.
They just don't like you. They go out.
Split up. This is a bit like the multiverse. Do you know what the multiverse is, Kat?
The multiverse, that's got to be something sci-fi.
It's Marvel. And I'll tell you what I mean by that, because our guests today on the podcast, we've got a star from Balamory and we've got a star from Still Game. And that's what I mean by the multiverse.
You got two Spider-Mans here.
I've not introduced you yet. Can you shut the fuck up?
Fuck me. I knew I was out my West End bubble, but
Right. So when you speak, nobody knows who you are yet, because I've not said who you are. Okay.
They know. They know.
Right, okay.
Who is it, Ewan?
So,
I'm dying to know who our guests are.
So the multiverse is real because I can see it. It's in front of me. From Balamory, we've got Julie Nimmo. Round of applause for Julie Nimmo.
Also known as Miss Hooley.
Yes, love Miss Hewlett, yes. And also with us, Greg Hemphill from Still Game.
Yay!
To be fair, I couldn't imagine any of them from Still Game, couldn't I? Let's be honest.
Aye. So we do have the multiverse on the podcast today, and it's lovely to see you both. I've known you both for a number of years, yet I've never, ever been with you at the same time. Why is that, Greg?
We're the same person. Smoke and mirrors and all that. A lot of special effects. Costs a lot of money to make a multiverse. Hundreds of millions. Why is I actually don't know. It's a really good question. I don't know.
Probably because the only thing we would have been in together would have been chewing the fat back in the day, and that's when we were still getting off with each other. So then we got married. The minute we got married, we stopped working together.
Well, there's two
Stop
modern.
getting off with each other. Is that where you met, chewing the fat?
Yes, on the radio. We
Sorry?
did that on the radio. Chewing the Fat was on the radio for years until
Yeah.
it was on the telly. And then, in fact, that's a lie. I just told Cat a lie right to her face. It was a show called...
It's going well.
So sorry. It was a show called Live Nation for Radio 4 that they needed a girl, and it was Greg, Ford Kiernan, Steve McKenna, and then they needed a girl. They got someone who dropped out. This is my whole career, somebody that dropped out. A great actress who dropped out, and then they got me, and that's when I first met Greg on that show.
So it was like this. It was over radio mics then.
Yes. But I fancied him already because I'm just getting out. I've had one coffee because he was in a comedy act for years called the Trio Brothers Troupe with my friend Rab Tristy, who's now my boss at Scott Squad. And Greg went to Glasgow Uni with him. And when I was at drama school, I used to go and see Rab in this troupe and go, yeah, he's really funny. Who's that Canadian guy? He's a ride.
So you fancy Greg way before you met him.
Way before I met
So
him.
when you met him, you've already got your eyes on him.
Like
You
a
know,
psycho.
aye. So you want him.
Yes, but I knew, but I'm not just saying this, I had a permanent brace at the time, so there was no chance.
Then she took the braces off like that.
Full motion hair flick.
And I was smitten. And then you skimmed over something there. That radio show that we did, Ford introduced himself to Jules by going, "Nice to meet you. By the way, you weren't the first choice for this."
To my face in a studio like this, and I was already shiting myself because the girl that got it before was a total really, really well-known actor, and she's really good. And I was like, oh my god, I can't do this.
But you're not going to name her.
No, and it's her loss. That's all I'll say. She probably got a big film or something, and we were doing this thing for a week, and that is Greg's exactly right. And I remember thinking, oh my god, this guy Ford's pure bold as funny as anything, but so bold. But I was like, oh well, and I just had to kid on. I wasn't bored. I was like, oh well, blah, blah, blah. And then thank God we all got on and stuff. But I had to put the fancying thing in the back burner because otherwise I would have been like,
Okay, so you're carrying this feeling
lust.
and lust for Greg, right? How long does that continue until he knows how you feel?
Oh, he's never known that he didn't know that for ages, didn't he not?
She trapped me. That's what you're leading up to, isn't it?
Well, that's what it sounds like, mate. It sounds a wee bit like what's that movie with Glenn Close?
Fatal Attraction.
Aye, it sounds a wee bit like that.
Do you have rabbits?
Yeah.
We had one. I never saw it. What happened? Did you give it away to the?
Where's Thumper?
Back me up a minute here. Hold on. You're making it like I've went into my work because I'm at my work. That was a radio show, and then once he started chatting and all that, the fancying thing calmed down.
Once you heard my Marty Moose voice.
But I was like, no, this is good because if the fancying thing still carries on, I'm getting to check him out now. Always good for any listeners out there. Don't go out with somebody you don't know, obviously, and check them out, and then you go, he's a good person, and he makes me laugh, so that was fine.
So you did a wee bit of research then?
Really bit of research stroke. I was doing a
And
show.
ultimately, you knew if you liked what you heard and you already liked what you saw, he was your man.
Yeah, but then it took ages and years.
Can I just say, we've just done the breakfast show. This is only like 11:30 in the morning. It sounds like we're actually here like in the middle of the night. We've been drinking all day with some of the stuff that's coming out.
I think we should do take two. at 11:30 tonight after the drinks come out.
I genuinely didn't think that. Obviously, otherwise I would be a true psycho that was like, oh, I met Greg and going to marry Greg. But weirdly, growing up in East Kilbride, where I'm from, this football team came over once this is so weird that I remember this, but I remember saying to my best friend Tracy Ralston, who's still my best friend, this Canadian football team came over, and I went, I had a dream last night I got married to somebody from Canada. She was like, yeah, whatever. And then cut 2 years later, that actually happened. So
She made it happen. I was trapped.
Mate, you had no choice.
No choice.
Mate, you were never getting out of this.
I had to fulfill her dream.
Yeah,
From when she was like
exactly.
13.
Greg's awful quiet about this story, isn't he?
It's very quiet, but I think he's secretly loving it.
Oh, I'm loving it. Yeah. I'm just sitting back and enjoying
Right, so let me get it from your perspective. So here's Julie, right, who at the time you don't know has got the hots for you. She's lusting after you. She wants some big Canadian sweaty man all over her, right?
She got me.
And she So at what point
The
do you
ultimate Mountie.
Yeah.
So at what point do you know that Julie has the eyes for you, and at what point do you have the eyes for Julie?
Well, we did a show after that called Pulp Video, which lasted one series. And
What, together?
we did it together.
Right.
And Jules came up to me, I think it was the rap party or something. She said, you've tried to get off with every single female member of the cast on this.
I told you.
Apart from me. And I was like... It was love from there onwards.
Yeah. We basically got
That's the
off
plot
each
in
other
history.
in the Mayfest Club in front of all the crew. I mean, how embarrassing is that?
Was that your first snog ever in front of your entire crew?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jean McCarry, who's still my great pal, was there going... She had to come up and like sort of pull my arm and go, you do know you've been getting off with him for an hour.
We had our first kiss in front of Isaac. Can you believe that? I mean, how idiotic is that?
Everyone would know.
This is pre-internet as well, but better than the internet. It travelled faster.
An hour's a long snog.
Remember those brilliant snogs?
Yeah.
So it's like it's in the same category as dry riding. Nobody does it anymore, and it's just so good. I recommend it to everybody.
Should we start a campaign to bring back dry riding?
Please, let's do that, Kath.
Bring back dry riding. It's
So
safe,
safe.
family friendly.
I just stared at the two young, lovely men in the room. I'm so sorry. I've just turned 50 and I don't give a shit anymore.
She doesn't, by the way.
But what's stopping you from dry riding now? Is it not the same feeling?
Imagine your kids caught you dry riding. Like, it's just, no.
Is that no better than being caught fully at it?
Actually, yeah, when you think about it.
You could just say you're doing some exercises or something. I don't know, or some
Wrestling practice.
wrestling practice. Yeah, but
Yeah.
see, when you bring that up when you're a teenager and you're experimenting and you're snogging and you're dry riding, all that feeling, I don't think you ever get that again.
I know,
That's a
it's
once in a
magic.
lifetime feeling. Like
Yeah.
when Greg falls in love with you and you fall in love with Greg. For me, I think that's a feeling that first feeling you'll never really replicate that. You'll love other people. And you'll fall in love with other people, but that first love never really goes away.
You feel those feelings very intensely when you're young, don't you? Because
You do.
feel them
Yeah.
for the first time, and that's why you never forget them.
Yeah, so how old were you when you snogged, Julie?
I don't know, about 28 or 29 or something.
That's quite late on, isn't it?
That was the first person I snogged. Like I said, I never forgot it.
First person it's not, but you dry ridden half of Canada.
Canada dry ridden.
Yes! Well done.
There's the writer. There's the writer.
Yes,
That's why
totally.
he comes up with a punchline.
Oh my God. I'm actually having a hot flush.
She's not kidding.
No, she's taking her jacket off. For those of you listening and not watching, trust
Sorry.
me, you should be watching this on YouTube and not just listening, because Julie Nimmo's now undressing in front of me.
I
And
knew
that-
this would happen. I'm actually perimenopausal and proud of it, and I went, I need to dress accordingly. So
Do you
once
get
the arms are out,
Big
yeah.
flushy moments and stuff.
Uh-huh. And this is not helping this girl.
No.
so you have your first snog at the age of 28, right? And you're inseparable then? Is that what happens?
Yeah, I think we
More or
started
less.
going on vacation together and stuff like that. We got married in Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
We'd been together for about 2 or 3 years. We got a dog. A dog called Tootsie. I called up Jules' sister and said, I'm thinking about getting a dog. And she was like, that's a good idea. I said, how long do they last? To this day, she still says, how long did they last? Like it was a fucking goldfish.
You you get it for 2 weeks and then it dies, you flush it down the toilet. That's not what happens with a dog.
I got her a dog in a wee plastic bag. There you go.
How long did it last?
15 years.
Oh, good. But
Yeah.
he's not from a dog family, so my sister put the phone down and was like, is he, trying to gauge how long he's going to go out with Jules for? Because if I said 2 years, so she went full. I think she said 15 years to you, and you still bought one.
One of our first dates, we went to Joe's house, Julie's sister, and she made soup, and I was all nervous and stuff, and I ate all the soup, and then I heard the ice cream van, and I went, I'm going to get everybody an oyster and a cone, and I ran outside and brought all these ice cream in, and she was just putting down the main course. I was happy with the soup. I thought we were done.
See, the student never leaves you. That's what happened.
Ding-a-ling, 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 ding-a-ling.
So she thought I was mental. She thought I was
He's
insane.
lovely, but he's a freak. Who goes to the van during the meal?
That's my dream dinner. Soup and then an ice cream. I don't need the main course.
No, I didn't need it either.
So the family think you're a freak, Greg.
Yes, I've
right?
not made a great first impression.
You want to know how long a dog lasts? I mean, it's not going well, is it?
No,
to start with.
Julie's dad was a riot. I mean,
God.
she said if he likes you, he'll bring his newspaper down, right? Because he sits with the newspaper and stuff like that. So Julie was there with her sisters, and I was all nervous. And Bill brought the newspaper down, which was kind of like the Caesar thumbs up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he told a story, and it was the shortest, most brilliant story that I've ever heard. And I'm going to tell it for you
what
from the
was it?
beginning to the end.
Okay.
It's not going to take long.
Right.
He said, "Mate of mine, oil rigs, top of the stairs, heart attack, bottom of the stairs, deed." And I went, that's the best. It was like a haiku poem. That was it.
I knew he liked him. He doesn't tell everybody that story.
Oh no, that's a special story.
And me and Bill have been tied ever since.
Oh, yeah, he loved Bill.
So, how many years do you wait before you decide to tie the knot after that first snog at the age of 28?
We got married in 1999, so it was probably about 2 years.
So you're 2 years dating.
Yeah.
But did you know during that 2 years that Jules was the one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you knew.
Yeah, absolutely.
They bought a dog.
Yeah.
He bought a dog,
And
that's
it was
true,
going to
yeah.
last.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he thought it was a goldfish and would last for 2
Well,
weeks.
the dog, I was thinking, was like a canary in the cage, you know what I mean? You just
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
bring the
yeah.
dog
Test
and
it,
check
yeah.
it.
Test it.
Yeah,
Test it.
and did you know also in those 2 years that he was the one?
Yeah, but I never thought I'd get married.
Never?
No. I'm the youngest of 4 girls, and I was like, that's fine. And I'd been to 2 of their weddings by that point, and I was like, this isn't for me, all this palaver. No. And maybe because we're actors, all that attention, everything, I was like, that's not going to be a thing. So I kind of thought we would stay together, and when we moved in, we got on really well and all that, and I was like, that'll be fine for me. That's smashing. If that works
So,
out.
so you must have obviously surprised her because she's not expecting the ring on the finger, but you decide to do it.
Yeah, well, we went to Las Vegas just for a vacation. We didn't go to get married. And that myth about going there and sort of waking up married, you can't actually do that. You have to go and get your wedding certificate, and then there's a 4-day cooling off period, and
is
then
that-
you can get married.
You,
Yeah.
just, you can't just fly in and get married.
No.
I thought that you could. I thought it was a bit
You
like
gotta
the
go to
hang- I thought it was like a bit like the Hangover. You could do
Exactly.
that.
You can do it in movies, but you
Yeah.
can't do it in real life.
Right.
You
Okay.
went there just for a holiday. You
For a
weren't.
holiday.
You weren't going to get married. And what happened then that you did get married?
We were
got
in
drunk.
We got drunk.
So that part.
We
is-
were in a bar. It was the House of Blues. We were in the bar and we were drunk. And I said to Jules, "Do you want to get married?" And she said, "Well, you got to ask me properly." So I got down on my knee and I said, "Do you want to get married?" And she said, "Yep." And I stood up and I went, "I think we can get some free beers out of this." So I went up to the bar and I was like, 2 Michelob Lights, please. And the guy, he put them down. He went, $12.80. And I went, "I just got engaged." And he went, and I turned around and there was 3 brides just wandering about. He went, "Congratulations, $12.80." It wasn't a big deal in Vegas.
They didn't care.
Was Elvis involved at any point, or did you do it somewhere ridiculous?
We wanted Elvis involved, but then we went to the Little White Chapel, and Elvis just looked like a bit. He was just knockoff Elvis. And you know what it was about him? It wasn't even that it didn't look anything like him. His jacket was all tatty and all that, and I was like, he's kind of manky Elvis. I don't like him.
You know, the flares were all tatty and sort of dark at the bottom, and he had
Properly.
sneakers on.
Yeah.
You don't want manky Elvis.
No.
No.
And then
No.
the lady who came out, who owns the place, who actually ended up married, was like, "We've got a deal on just now, and you can go up in a balloon." And I was like, "Oh, we won't be able to afford that." And she was like, "No, you will. You'll be able." So anyway, we went up in this hot air balloon instead the next 60 without Elvis and her.
You got married in a balloon?
Yeah,
Yeah, hot
I
air
thought it was
balloon.
going to be like tethered and it was like 20 feet in the air. It was 1,500 feet in the air, right? And it was passing over this farm and like houses and stuff, and the shadow of the balloon spooks all the animals. So all the dogs are going, and there's horses neighing and stuff, and it's completely silent. My brother, who came in from San Francisco, didn't know we were getting married. He's afraid of heights, and he was my best man. So he's in the basket.
Hold on a second. So you make a decision to go up in a balloon knowing that your best man doesn't like heights.
Doesn't like heights.
I'm interjecting. Him and his brother thought it was going to be like East Kilbride Fair and would be tied down.
Or like 10 feet in the air or something,
and I was like, I'm pretty sure like they take the rope and we soar about for a wee while, if that's even the right word. And the two of them are going, no, Jules, no chance, we'll be tied down. I'm like, that'll be weird. Yep, up we go. The rope comes up, clearly next minute, we're away. And the two of them crap
So
themselves.
Tony was on the bottom of the basket, lying on the floor of the basket, and he had to witness the marriage. So he signed the certificate, right?
On the floor?
Yeah, on the floor. So that he passed it down and he signed it like every time he visits, we get drunk and we get it out and show him his 7-year-old. He was like 29 or something.
Big massive like Tony Hemphill.
It's written like a child.
At least it's a great story.
It is. And then the balloon, we didn't know this either, but balloons, you can't really pick your landing spot. All you can do is come down and then you land where you land. So we came down and landed in a primary school yard, right? And as it landed, we looked up and there was like 500 kids all at the window like that. And the teacher went, go on, and let them out on a break. And we just got surrounded by all these primary school kids.
That
Do you
is
remember that?
amazing. It was
The
amazing.
wedding pictures must have been great.
They're
But
great.
do you not scorch your heads in balloons? Is it not really, really hot?
But it's really quite high up, though.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, but it's literally right there. It's quite scary. It's hot. It is hot.
There was the
but
priest, there was the guy operating the balloon, there was an organist, there was me, Jules, and Tony. I thought this is a bit like that joke where somebody's getting surfed out.
Yes. So you've got married, you're in a hot air balloon. What's next in your life? Is it we need to have children, or is it let's think about the career? When does Balamori happen? When does Still Game happen? What's next in your sequence of events in your life?
quite scary, isn't it, when you get to... I'm 15, Greg's 52, I don't remember.
But there wasn't any sitting, there was genuinely no sitting down and talking about plans and stuff like
Was
that.
there not?
No, not at all.
I think we've done the kid chat before because he won't hear this because he lives in England, but one of Greg's best friends split up with his girlfriend of 10 years because... I'm just getting into it.
You can get
sip of
podcasts
coffee
in England,
that
Jules.
there.
You know that thing called the internet?
Yeah. Did you think they're going to put this in a pigeon carrier?
It stops at Carlisle.
He knows exactly what I mean. He said, honestly, this is not quite put. We can't.
Sorry.
I just mean I'm not naming him, but if he hears this, you know what I'm talking. I'm talking about you, Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Anyway, never mind, right? So he came up to our flat before we got married, and I was totally packed for the weekend because he was all upset. He broke up with the girlfriend and all the rest of it. He declared he didn't want to have children. It's a pure annoying guy story coming up, by the way. He's been with her for 10 years and suddenly doesn't want any kids, blah, blah, whatever. And to be fair to the lassie, who was lovely, turned around and went, right, see you later then, quite good on her. She did want children. The reason I'm telling this story is Greg came back from this a bit kind of, I don't know if I want kids and all that. And I made Cat's looking at me, I made a bit of a mistake. I remember I was eating cheese and toast at the time. I took a deep breath and I just put the cheese and toast down and went, listen, Greg, you go into the living room and think to yourself, because I do want kids. I don't want them right now, but I'm not going to lie in this relationship and say that I don't. So see if you don't want kids. So pretty much over. And then I phoned my sister and she went, you stupid cow. Did you do that for? And I thought, well, I'm just saying.
You're putting it out there.
And he was very much not copying his pal's life, but a bit like, I think I might be one of those guys. And I was like, here we go.
Turns out I was there.
Turns out when you wasn't.
Women listen to this will know what I'm talking about. A lot of guitar playing type guys at the party like that. See this guy, I'm not ready and it's me and my dreams and whatever. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. You're either into it or you're no into it. And by the way, that's fine. I think women are great that they can take charge now. They're a bit more feisty now. I'm making out this was in 1942. But still, I remember waking up and going, no, probably a bit of a daft move, but yeah.
But
so.
were you going to stand by it?
Damn right I was standing by it.
Yeah.
Aye.
So if Greg had stood his ground, you wouldn't be sat here today.
Nah.
Nah. Because, but there-
Sliding doors.
It is?
oh, it is sliding doors, but then it gives you like food for thought as well about, oh, hold on a second, how much do I love Jules and how much do I want to spend the rest of my life with her to make that commitment to have children? She clearly wants children. If I don't, it's either I lose Jules or I go on my own.
All of that passed through my mind in 1 second when I just thought that the phrase, I just got fucking tilt there. And that was it. We moved on. I was pregnant within a year.
Some cheese and toast.
Do you know, I don't mean that, but I think if it's the other way around, if it been me going, I don't want kids, which is totally cool. I've got loads of friends that don't have kids, and as long as you know that you're on the same sheet, it's like anything, you don't need to be a parent. If you're on the same sheet together, then that's brilliant. Whereas somebody's harbouring something that they really want and then they don't say anything, oh my God, no.
So, Still Game and Balamory turned massive kind of at the same time.
It
you're
was,
talking
aye.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Did that impact on your relationship then? Or was it...
Yeah, weirdly, because we were in our second house by then, and
Those shows started like a week
the
apart,
same
didn't they?
week nearly. I think you went
That's
first.
crazy.
Isn't it?
And
Yeah.
River City started about a week after.
Yeah.
Because our pal came up from London, not Lawrence, another pal, and stayed with us in our house. And he started on River City. I was doing Balamory, and Greg was starting to shoot Still Game, and it was crazy. We had Benny by then, bless Benny, who's now 21, our eldest, and he was only 7 months when I started shooting that, and Greg started shooting Still Game. So, I mean, it changed everything. It was really, we then had to be, I'd been working obviously before that, but then working and shooting on a thing we didn't know how big it was going to be at the time for either of the shows. And obviously everything changed because we'd Benny. But my mum and dad, Joan and Bill, came, and basically I said, you can come and work for us, but you need to be paid and everything. It's a full job looking after a kid all day. So
When all
they
that
came-
happens at once, they put pressure on you two as a couple because you're in a full-time gig now, you're in a full-time gig, you've got a child as well. It must affect the dynamic between you two. Because I know what it's like being married for 27 years and the job that I do, and there's kids, and then Teresa's got her job and she does what she needs to do. It does change the dynamic dramatically.
But we've been very lucky, I think. You know, I know you're joking about not seeing us together, but all through our marriage, one of us has been working and the other one's been at home. So
Yeah.
when Jules does the Christmas show, I'm in the house, and I can do writing jobs from home. That's no problem. But
Yeah.
we just try to never coordinate it so that you're both, because we went through that and it's pretty tumultuous.
Yeah.
Because that was about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, and I did quite a lot of touring with the National Theatre Scotland, and I only would ever be able to do that. I mean, I know my mum and dad helped out loads, and Greg's mum and dad were brilliant as well, but it would always be, listen, I'm really glad I've got the job, but it would always be if the two of us could take time, and we always had that rule. I mean, I wouldn't be as into going on tour as much now, weirdly, with the boys being up, but we did do it like that, didn't we?
Although occasionally, we get a bump in the road. So Jules flies to Australia with Clive Russell to film something over there, and she lands there. She's jet lagged and whatnot. She goes out for a drink at 7. You know, there's like 12 hours time difference.
Yeah.
So it's 7 p.m. She's going out for a drink with Clive, and her phone goes, and it's me. And I'm like, "Where's Benny's gym bag?"
You're on Bondi Beach with
He's
champagne.
like, "Go and fuck yourself." I'm on the.
He's a total bugger because I said, don't phone me unless it's a major emergency, I'll call you. And my phone went, and I was like, somebody's dead. And Claire's going, don't worry, Jules, just take your time, pick the phone up. And I'm like, hello. And he's like, Jules, sorry, where's the send shoes? I'm like, fuck off.
And then about a week after that, before she was flying home, she had an almighty hangover. She went to Bondi Beach,
don't know what you're talking about.
went to a tattoo parlour and got a tattoo, and then fainted and was sick and got a tattoo. And I was like, I'm married to Popeye. Basically goes halfway around the world, passes out in the chair, and the woman goes, "We've got to drop her! We've got to drop her!"
What is the tattoo of? I need to know.
It's I could show you. Do you want to see it?
Oh, aye,
I'm
go
just
on.
trying to think we're going to have
Well,
pants.
where is
on.
it?
Well, where is it?
It's just here. These jeans are quite
Let me
tight.
have a wee... I'll describe it for the audio
Is that the right side?
listeners.
Yeah, it's like a vintage
Oh.
heart,
A sailor's tattoo.
and it's got.
What
Greg's-
is
Is that a sailor's tattoo?
I'm just standing up
If
with
you're
it.
too...
Well, like an
I'm not
anchor or
shy, I'm
something.
an actress, I don't care.
Is it an anchor thing?
That's
It's a wee heart.
I'll have to take my trousers
It's just-
on a bit.
Remember, this is going to YouTube. Don't go too far down.
You see it?
Oh,
is it a
by the
sailor's
way,
tattoo?
By the
Yeah.
way, that looks fresh.
It
looks good.
About what, 20
You know
years old?
why? Because they use deeper needles there.
Oh, deeper needles.
Once
Was
I
it?
found out with my hangover, so it says Hempy, that's my nickname for Greg.
Oh, is that what that
Which
is?
is really uncool, Greg's dying. But my sisters were freaking out because the first thing my sisters seen was, what if you get divorced? And I was like, laser treatment will be fine. No, just
Wait, hold on a second. We've known Greg for a long time. Did you ever know him as Hempy?
I do know.
Hey, Henry. Right.
Big Hempy. Big hot Canadian Hempy.
Hempy.
Yeah, Hempy.
Hempy.
And it's
calls
got
me all
nothing
the
to do
time.
with weed because people go, hemp.
But
and all
that's
that.
not, that's that public knowledge? I'm not sure that is.
Oh,
They
God,
used to
what
call
have I
me, well, the other members of Still Game, Paul Riley in particular, used to always call me Hempy.
Right.
And so it just stuck. But,
I've been in your company a lot with all the guys, and I've never heard anyone say Hempy.
no, Ford doesn't call me Hempy, but
No.
Jules and Paul did, and a couple of the others, I think.
All my family call him hempy.
Oh, can we call you Hempy?
You sure can.
I feel like we've crossed the line today.
I quite like nicknames, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
You
Do you have a
suits
nickname?
hempy, don't you?
Do you guys have nicknames?
Yeah, he's arsehole.
No, can I just say I have copyrighted the word FUD. I am the king of
Oh, I
FUDs.
love FUD.
Yeah.
That's my name. I'm a FUD on Twitter. I'm a FUD on Facebook. I've taken ownership of
Why
that.
don't you get FUD in, like, you know, the Arabic writing like the
That's
footballers
good,
get?
it's a good idea, that,
Yeah.
isn't it? You should maybe do that.
But you and I was in the play Tutti Frutti that John Byrne wrote, and the character's called Fudd. He's in the band.
Well, there you
He's
go.
One of the best characters.
Yeah, I love the nickname FUD. I
You
get it
can
all
be
the time
FUD.
on Facebook and Twitter.
What
Punters
about
call me all the
Cat?
time.
Cats is kind of cat.
She's Catster.
Oh, cat's there.
Cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean,
Didn't take them a long time to
no,
think that
I mean,
one up.
I love this woman dearly. We've known each other for 20 years.
Aw.
I mean, honestly, and we are very different in very many different ways. And she's my rock, and I'm her rock, and she's more there for me than I am for her. Because I'm in therapy just now, in case you haven't heard, but I'm in therapy just now.
I've heard you talking
I have,
about it.
that's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
I
Good
think
for
it's
you.
brilliant.
And we
Talk
will
about that.
talk about that.
We
on
may talk about
one
that at some
show,
point.
But I need you to get through your therapy before I think you're ready to do this.
Can I just say, by
Yeah.
the way, for anyone who might be listening to this, who might be troubled or feeling that they need to speak, I feel freedom
Yes.
because I'm speaking about the trauma and everything that we went through
Good
as a
for you.
family. And I honestly see speaking and just being able to talk about stuff.
Yes.
It's just unbelievable. It's liberating. I mean, Kat knows the full story and it is horrific. But now that I've been able to speak about it without getting emotional and upset,
Yeah.
it's changed my life in just the last 3 or 4 months. It's just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I hate to do this, but I can't help it. But because we're doing things you're talking about earlier on, but not doing stuff together, we've done a show together called The Skinny on Dipping. I'm pure plugging it because it's not been out yet.
I was going to ask you about that as well. Don't
Well,
worry.
sorry I'm jumping in, but
No,
it's
it's
only
good.
in relation to you, Ewan, because we've met a lot of people who, men in particular, that we've met that went into therapy and through therapy, and you're using cold water therapy. So if you ever want to come for a dip with us, you as well, Kat, obviously.
does that
but-
work, the cold water
Oh, my
therapy?
God.
My wife, obviously, I was saying to
Yes.
Hempy earlier on about wild swimming.
I do
Yeah.
as well. Don't I?
And you do as well.
Do you, Kat? I didn't know
I mean,
that.
my wife is,
Wow.
her and her pals are addicted. They're addicted by it. And even when there's snow on the grass, they're
Yeah.
still out doing the wild swimming. She's bought paddle boards and
What
all
about you
sorts.
then?
I mean, I know you're now doing it, Hempy, but for me, even just putting my big toe in the water, and I'm like, not a fucking chance am I doing
I
that.
don't, I don't know how much swimming I do. I mean, I just go in.
Well, Kat, that's why our show's called The Skinny on Dipping, because we don't want to, I mean, one day aspire to swimming proper with the float and all that, but we dip as well. We're proper dippers.
Right.
But if we get to do the full show, we're hoping to get 6 eps, then you better come on. But now I know I didn't know that, Kat. That's great.
Yeah.
Most of it's mind over matter, though.
But
And
it's a challenge.
Jules,
Yeah.
when she used to go on holiday to Spain, it was like the water was 75 degrees and it would take her 25 minutes to get in the water. Now she goes into water that's like 9, 10, 11 degrees and just walks in. But the thing about the show was,
But then let me ask you, because I know, when's the show out? Do you know?
I think it'll probably, this side of Christmas, we don't have a
It's
transmission
getting
date
delivered
yet.
on the 1st of November, and then they want to put it out before Christmas and New Year, because that's that nice time when
Yes.
people are
So some
in.
of the people we've met, it's particularly guys, as Jules says,
Yes,
it's,
yes.
they're meeting in places like Portobello with these. We talk to all these groups in the show, you know, and it's been really an eye opener, because I guess for guys, just to go back to what you were saying, is that's the big hump to get over, is actually because we're kind of closed off. It's,
We
you know,
are.
we're West of Scotland men.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but why are we like that? Because what I've found since I have gone public with my therapy and the trauma that I went through is the amount of men who've sent me private messages who have been quietly struggling and been inspired by me speaking about it, and now are seeking help themselves. And I'm inspired by that. I can't believe that there's so many men out there, and most men are contacting me. There's a few women as well, but as you were saying, generally it's mostly men.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why do you think men hold that in for so long? I mean, I held my issues and my problems inside of me for decades.
40 years.
40 years. You as a man like myself, why do you think that we are so bad at speaking about our problems and our issues? What do you think it is?
I don't think there's any great mystery to it. I don't think you have to go back 5 generations to, our dads and their dads, we were all hardwired and are hardwired to carry our own water and stuff.
Regardless.
Just keep it together. We're like a steel trap, you know what I mean? But actually, that's changing. Like our kids... they like to talk about all sorts of stuff and things that we would never talk about.
So do you think it's more our generation?
I think it's, I really do, yeah. I think the younger generation, whether it's through social media or whatever, are way better at expressing themselves than we ever were.
Do you find they know that mental health is a thing?
Yeah. And do you find that your kids are a bit more open in their discussion and when they express themselves? Do you find that with your kids? Because I find that with my kids, they're quite happy to talk about anything and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas I wasn't like that in my early 20s. Not a chance.
We demonise them all the time. Everybody demonises the youth, don't they? We all have, every generation has done it. Now we got our kids are on their phones all the time. But my experience with our boys is that they are, I don't know, they're smarter than we were at that age. I don't know, they've got more control of their emotions and all that kind of thing. But definitely self-expression. Do you not think, Jules?
I think as well, but Benny that's 21, his group of friends, I talk to him about stuff like this a lot, like, come from East Kilbride, there's so many suicides, and young men in particular in the last few months, and my poor nieces and nephews have been at funerals of kids that are that age, and it's terrifying. So obviously I would talk to the boys about that, and Benny in particular... we talk to him a lot, but also say, do you check in with your friends? And they all check in with each other.
Yeah.
He's got girl pals as well, but especially in the group of boys, and that really is reassuring for us, because it's your worst fear. You're terrified
totally.
going, what if that... But I think you're right. I think there's something... If we all lived in America, right, we've spent some time in LA, you go there like you go to the dentist.
Yeah.
You work on yourself, you go, and there's no shame in it at all, and it's accessible for people. Yeah, I'm sure there's dearer places than others, but you'll read about it in, magazines, people who want to talk about it like you.
Yeah.
There's no shame in this. I'm watching a show at the moment called Euphoria, and the young team will be into it. It's really good. But the main girl that's in that, how do you say her name again, Greg?
Zendaya.
She's talking about it. And one of the main things that's come out in the interviews is loads of the younger cast are all in therapy. And it's not like, they can't believe that in our country, and, not so bad in Europe, but...
In the UK.
When they come to... The people still go, you're in therapy? And she's like, well, yeah, that's what we do. It's part of, like...
It's
cleaning our
normalised,
teeth.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, in North America, the brain or the head is exactly the same as the knee or the elbow or the back. They're like, if you've got something going on in your head, you go and speak to somebody about it. You know
Like
what I mean?
you do if you had a sore knee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you would.
There's no difference at all. Whereas we don't have that here, I think. Well, I think we're getting towards it.
Yeah. So I think we're now breaking down that barrier where you're not ashamed anymore, and you shouldn't be ashamed. And I think that's the problem with a lot of men, is that they're ashamed, and as you were saying, it's like, we must just carry on regardless. And it's not like that. It really isn't.
I think as well, like, obviously I've known you for a while, but I think maybe the thing that's hard with someone like you, for people to go, oh, it's because you're a riot and you're a good laugh. See, I'm bigging him up. But yes, like, you're genuinely an up person, and you're funny, and you're the same. It's like, so people go, oh, he's all right. Oh. So actually to be able to use your platform in that positive way, I mean, that's just
But can I just say, the amount of people who are shocked, hold on a minute, you're an absolute fucking idiot. What's wrong with you? What's going on?
But that hasn't changed.
No, that hasn't changed. No, I'm still that absolute fucking idiot. But let's get back to Wild Swimming, which is coming on the BBC. Yeah. So you were saying to me before the show started, before this podcast started, that you weren't into it. You just couldn't understand it. And there was Julie going backwards and forwards with her pals, and she was loving it. She was looking forward to it, and it wasn't for you. What was it about Wild Swimming that changed your opinion?
It was Jules going in the morning and coming back and seeing the physical difference, in her face.
The buzz.
The buzz.
I started to look more like a ride. And he kept going, you look really good. Like, I was like, what are you talking
changed your
about?
scent or your makeup? What have you done?
Where is this magical water that you're dipping in?
I think so, Kat, when you do it, you start to look like, we have a laugh, me and my girlfriends, when Greg's not there, and we go, right, take a before dip photo and an after. So before we look like the grannies in Cocoon get into the pond, then we come out, we're like, we all look really good. Because it's the buzz, it's the water does something to you, and you do it. I think it's infectious. I know
it's that wee cup of tea at the side of the loch when you're freezing,
Hold it, but
you've wrapped yourself up in your big fluffy towel.
So how long have you been doing this, Jules, before he decides to take the plunge? How long have you been doing it? Months?
No, this has been about 2 years now.
All right, 2 years. So you're like going, no chance, no chance, no chance. when's the moment you think, I'm going to give this a go, and why did you think that?
Well, strangely enough, it ties into what we were talking earlier. Jules was going down and doing a yoga class on the beach with about 30 or 40 women, and she was like, it's a great group, you come down. And I was like, oh, no.
Is this at Loch Lomond?
Yeah.
I've
The breathing
seen the
ladies.
group of
I've
people.
seen the ladies.
Oh,
do
Cat,
this.
you need
Right.
to come. They're amazing.
The idea of kind of doing that in this big group of people, I was like, oh, you go and have fun, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know? So I had that to get over, you know. And once I got over that and realised that nobody gave a shit, you know,
Yeah.
you just go down and do it. And then it becomes addictive like anything else, you know, and you start to do it, and it gets a little bit easier each time you do it. But the first time you do it, it was like mind over matter. It's just breathing and you're chilling out and you go, this is fantastic. It felt really...
So it's
No, wait a minute. As a man walking into Loch Lomond, was it Loch Lomond you did the first one?
Yeah.
Right, walking in. Where did it go?
We're inside. Yeah. I don't have much to boast about at the best of times, but I had even less when I came...
I really didn't know who you're talking about. I was like, what? Oh,
Aye. It's like that old joke from Billy Connolly, isn't it? So does it genuinely just disappear?
Oh, yeah.
Have you just got two balls hanging? Is that it?
Yeah, 2 balls hanging.
And that's it, nothing else?
No.
And everything else is gone?
It's gone.
Yeah. But over time, does it grow back?
It grows back,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes. So how long do you have to wait for it to pop back out?
Till it thaws. Like an ice ball.
You have to coax it out like a turtle's head.
I can't wait to hear that in the voiceover for your BBC Scotland show.
No, I mean, we're kidding, but I really found it kind of inspirational, you know what I mean? To see Jules going from somebody who kind of took ages to go into even warm water to just kind of diving into really cold water, I was like, well, there must be something in there.
But I can't claim that credit. The first person I
But
went
you
was,
did it.
was Gail Telfer
But you
Stevens,
did
my
it, though.
pal,
I love Gail.
from the
Yeah.
Dolls, and so she grew up in Balloch, and I would say that as well. If you are thinking about it, don't go on your own. Cat will back me up here. Don't go on your own. If you're going on your own, go with. And Greg's forgot one of the times he was in before that. The very first time was in Ely. We've got a place up in Ely, and we're lucky enough to have steps go into the water. And my friend Dawn was trying to tell me how to do it on the phone. She was going, right, put this in, just go in. Don't be on your own. She kept emphasising, don't be on your own. Don't, not to scare anybody, but you've got to be safe.
Yeah.
And Greg would come and sit in the steps. And one day I just went, Greg would not come in with me. And to be fair to him,
That's right,
the trousers came off. He wasn't naked, but in his pants, and he came in and he totally encouraged me to come in.
Wow.
And we actually had such a laugh. Like, well, there was a lot of swearing, but we had such a laugh together. And he went, when are you going to do it again? And I went, well, she says we've got to do it tomorrow. We've got to do it every day. And so that was how it started.
And I remember going back up to the house, and for about 4 hours I sat there and my brain was burning like a magnesium strip, you know what I mean? Mine was just going like that, and I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a different buzz.
It is such a buzz. It's like adrenaline and
Yeah,
everything.
you're all doing it. I've not done it once. I may have to try it.
Is that
Absolutely
not,
try
Yeah.
it. You should
Greg,
try
is
it.
that not quite good though from a writer's perspective that your brain is that alert and...
Yeah, I know, absolutely. And I mean, I'm completely addicted now. We bought a barrel for our back garden, and so even if we can't get somewhere to swim,
You're joking.
we'll go into the cold water pretty much
Really?
most
How do
days.
you get out a barrel?
It's got wee steps and all that.
Oh,
I'll
right.
show you a picture of it
You
later.
drink your way out.
Massive straw.
You're not getting out until it's gone. That's a game show somewhere.
I feel like it's a whiskey link coming somewhere.
Yes. Right. So we're going to get to the whiskey in just a second, because I've seen you brought a bag in with you.
Yeah.
But you may be surprised, because we're coming towards the end of the podcast. At no point did we talk about Still Game or Ballamore, and I'll tell you why we didn't. Because you've done that for years, and we wanted to get to know who you are.
Oh,
Okay.
that's really nice.
So that's why we haven't talked about it today.
But do you know what? That's lovely because...
Because normally when people speak to you, it's always about the same old thing. It's about
yeah.
Miss Hooley, it's about Victor, it's about Jack, it's about like what's been like backstage or doing the hydro and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We decided today we wanted to get to know who you two are as a couple.
No, we didn't.
That sounded great.
I know, but that's just bollocks.
But that sounded great. But no, Cat, just fucking go with it.
We just haven't got to Still Game in Bellamont.
But don't you want me to do my Victor voice? No, not particularly. Come on.
It's the only reason I'm here. It's the only reason I'm here. I need to do Victor. Please let me do Victor. Just for 10 seconds, please. Well, you're going to get the chance to talk about Jack and Victor with your whiskey. But before we get to the whiskey, right, and we want to play a little game with you.
Cool.
Because we've now got to know you pretty well as a couple. We've known you a long time as individuals, but now as a couple. Julie, I'm going to ask you to leave the studio.
Okay.
And Ben is going to take you outside and he's going to entertain you so you don't hear what's going on in here.
This is like Mr. and Mrs.
It is. This is exactly what it is.
You know
So
what?
we've got a couple of questions. So Julie, could you please
Yes,
leave the studio?
absolutely.
Ben, could you go and look after Julie and entertain her so she doesn't cheat?
I'm not a cheater. I'm a pure soup.
So you go. So Ben, who's a huge fan of yours and grew up with you, is delighted to be entertaining you now, Julie. So Ben, there you go with Julie. Miss Hooley.
Where's he taking her?
Where are you taking her?
Behind the bike shed.
So, 23 years married, Greg Hemphill and Julie Nimmo. We're now going to play a little game of Mr. and Mrs. And it's over to Cat Harvey for this particular game.
In my head, we've got game show music playing.
Yes, we do.
We'll add that, won't we?
Yes, we
So
should.
It looks professional. I love it. Okay, Greg. First of all, who is Julie's celebrity crush?
Oh man,
Come on, Greg, you must know that.
it's Jurgen Klopp.
She's got a thing for Jurgen Klopp.
I love Jurgen Klopp.
She wants a night out with Jurgen
Yeah,
Klopp.
I don't fancy him, but
Right? You don't.
Yeah.
She probably fucking fancies.
What does she?
She loves his teeth, everything.
don't you think Ewan looks like a Poundland Jurgen Klopp?
Thanks, Cat. Poundland Jurgen Klopp.
Deutschland, Jurgen.
Is
It'll either be him or probably, I would say maybe Ryan Gosling. No, Joe Wicks. She loves Joe Wicks.
you've got to choose one. You've got to choose one.
I'll go with Jurgen Klopp.
Okay, that's good.
They fucking change every week.
Well,
Can't keep up. She's got a list.
Are we fridge man?
This week,
for the week.
Hempy, just so you know, this week it's Joe Wicks.
I think you're going to know the answer to this one because we know the answer. What's her pet name for you?
Hempy.
Hempy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What's her worst habit?
Oh, worst habit. Smashing things in the house.
Really?
Yeah, I've actually.
What, is it clumsy?
I actually looked it up because you can't go fucking clumsy back. You can't do that anymore. You know what I mean? So apparently it's called dyspraxia, which
Right.
means like if you're emptying the
quite
dishwasher and stuff, you
droppy.
just drop something or smash it, or she'll turn and smash them.
Okay.
Okay. And her favourite movie?
Her favourite movie is Terms of Endearment.
And her first pet?
It was a dog called Socks.
Lovely.
I think that was her first dog. I don't know. She might have a turtle or some fucking goldfish. A turtle pops into my head because of the wild. Yes.
Because of the wild swimming, coaxing that head out after a wild swim in Loch Lomond.
Pets. So that is you completed your questions.
Thank you.
Well
Kat.
done,
Thank
Greg.
you. You can bring her back.
Okay. Julie, you may enter the studio. Come on, Ben.
Oh, they're winching.
They're behind the.
They're
bike sheds,
winching,
aren't
aren't they?
they? Yeah.
They're properly winching. Right, in you come, Julie. Please take a seat.
I'm actually quite excited.
Aye.
Right.
How well does Hempy know Julie?
We're going to score them out of 5.
So it's 5 questions.
It's Jules
Jules.
actually.
Oh, sorry, Jules.
Jules and
Don't
Hempy.
mind.
Jules and Hempy.
Okay,
Here we
Jules,
go.
are you ready for this?
I am.
Go.
Who does Greg think your celebrity crush is?
We know there's a few.
After the list of 20, we made him narrow it down.
Well, there's a lot of people. I'm always saying that, aren't I? He's my boyfriend. Oh. How many do you want?
The first one, just
first
the
one.
first one that comes
First
to you.
one.
Harry Styles.
Oh, fuck
was
me.
You didn't even mention
Wasn't
him.
even on his
No.
list of
Oh,
20.
really?
See, that's why I need a fridge magnet. So I
Yeah,
can
you
wipe
do.
it off with Harry Styles.
Oh, can I change it then? No, that's it. I've lost already.
You've lost that point. Okay. This one we do know.
But who was it?
Oh,
Klopp's.
it was Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, oh, I can see.
You couldn't remember his name, could you? You just
No, I
like
nearly said Clip Club. So sorry.
Do you not think Ewan looks like a Poundland Jurgen Klopp?
Yes. Awkward.
Just a wee bit, Greg. I'm sorry, mate.
Can we replace the paper and put some keys in here? What is your nickname for Greg?
Him.
We knew they'd get
Yeah.
that one, yes. Okay. What is your worst habit?
Being not on time and worrying.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that. She's never on time.
Talking too much.
No.
I'll just keep going. No.
Still not got it?
Really?
Nah.
Worst habit?
Worst habit? Something in the house that you do. And it happens quite regularly in the house when you're maybe emptying the dishwasher.
Oh my God, I run the tap
Oh,
What?
all the time for too long.
You do that as well.
You do that as well.
Am I just annoying you?
No, you break things.
Oh, I'm so clumsy, yeah.
You dropped
Yes,
things,
clumsy,
yeah.
yes.
You didn't get that either. Your favourite film?
Terms of endearment.
Yes!
Finally, I got one. 23 years, I listened once.
And your first pet?
Oh, my dog, Socks.
Oh, yes! Well, it's 3 out of 5.
Yeah, 5. That's decent.
That's decent.
That is decent.
Right, Greg. Jamie's now going to take you out of the studio,
All right.
and we are now going to ask Jules some questions.
Good luck,
and,
Jules.
And Greg, just so you know, Jamie is a huge fan of yours as well. Right, here we go.
Just in case it happens, it's actually the same questions because we've got some joint ones for you as well,
Okay.
right? So, who is his celebrity crush?
Well, it's always been for years. I don't know now. Now it changed. I'm still going to say Angela Bassett. He's obsessed with her.
She's gorgeous.
Yes.
Yes.
That's quite an old one for him, though. No, I'm going with that one.
And his pet name for you?
Jules.
You're saying that because you know there's a dirty one and you're not
'cause my
telling us.
No. Actually, no, Jules. Always Jules.
Jules.
And his worst habit?
He bites his nails.
Oh, does he?
Or the thing I hate more than now is he's gave up vaping. I'm going 50-50 here. The nails is not so bad. And he's not vaping out, he's putting these pouches in. Sorry, listeners, it's disgusting. Like nicotine, I hate them. I just hate them. No, scrap all that.
So you've wait, hold on a second. So you've already labelled 2 things you hate, right? And now you're going to go for a third.
Snoring. Oh my.
Is it bad?
Oh yeah.
Is it like a tractor?
It's so bad.
Is it? Okay.
It's getting better though because he's lost loads of weight recently and
Right.
it's always
That does
not
help,
drinking
doesn't
as much. But yep.
Favourite movie?
Jaws.
Was it Jaws? Good movie.
Okay, and finally, his first pet.
He's not really his family didn't have pets. It's weird. I would say it would be our dog Tootsie.
Jamie! Bring Greg in!
You feel quite nervous, don't you?
I know.
I feel like we're going to go home if he doesn't get any
Wait, seeing you in the car home, you're going to be arguing.
atmosphere again.
Aye, a wee atmosphere.
Apologies, I was just dating a fish.
Okay.
I feel I need a biscuit. Am I allowed a biscuit?
Yeah, you can eat whatever you
I'm
like.
a wee bit nervous.
Help yourself.
Take whatever you want.
We
So,
always do say that from Still Game. There's one of my favourite bits, so I'm bringing Still Game up because I'm not in it. And there's a scene in it, and there's a guy. Remember, Greg, when they do the pub quiz, Greg do the guy's voice. It's so
It was
brilliant.
Johnny Irving who played Willie McIntosh.
Oh my god!
And he
so
was
funny.
he was auditioning to play the quiz, and he said, "I'm a wee bit nervous." And he does that thing. What was it? Who discovered radium? Was it? Yes, and
Something
the
like
answer
that.
was Marie Curie, and he turns to the back of the quiz book and says, "Wake me up before you go." And it made us laugh. I never had so much fun on set. But that was his line, wasn't it? I'm a wee bit nervous. Anyway,
Sorry, I was just stalling
you tried to get through this thing.
right,
without
here we go.
mentioning
Let's see.
Still
Oh my God.
So you got 3 out of 5, Greg.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so here is the questions in reverse order. So we asked Julie pretty much the same questions about you.
Cool.
So who does she think your celebrity crush is?
It's it's the girl that played Tina Turner. It's
Yes.
Angela
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes. And your pet name for her?
For Angela Bassett. I'm not telling her that. Jules.
Is correct. What does Jules think your worst habit is?
Oh my god.
By the way, she
was a
she
lengthy
revealed a
list.
bit of a list, and then she plumped for one. But there's a lengthy list.
It's probably not showering every day, or maybe it could be.
That wasn't on the list. You sound like a manky bastard.
If I'm in a loch every day, what do I need to get in the shower for? You know what I mean?
To get the algae off?
Oh, showerings for the birds, man. It's the,
Yeah, guess what? I didn't tell them that.
That is the incorrect answer.
Oh, wait, what do you think,
See if you
though?
get-
okay, well, yeah, I'm kind of. I'm just working it through here. So can I have the question? Because this could be a clue to what the answer is.
What is his worst habit?
Is it not listening?
What's another one you've added to this we didn't know about?
It's getting bigger and bigger.
Right, you
How
get.
do you feel for me 23 years later?
Aye.
Yeah.
So you're just going to keep going until you get nearer the answer, or one of the ones that she put on the list.
Did you put a few on the list?
Aye.
No. One,
There's three.
One that's been sort of.
Ah, but
well
you went for one. You plumped for one.
I'm sorry, he's not getting the point.
I know, but I'm just
No.
curious. I'm just curious to know how many other things he's going to put on the list. Put him out his misery. What was the answer?
The answer was snoring.
Ah, snoring.
But she also says something about vaping
Yeah,
My
I've
little
stopped that
pouch.
now.
and biting your nails.
Yeah, I've stopped that too. Look.
There you go then.
Okay.
Oh, there you're little good.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Are you getting them manicured?
No.
Still look
I
good.
just clip them and I don't bite them anymore. I
That
don't
looks good.
vape. I do everything I'm fucking told. Stop biting that. Shut up. Stop snoring.
Put the vape in the bucket.
Are we in marriage counselling? Is this what this podcast
It
is?
actually is. Did they not tell you? So do you not shower to rebel?
It's the only way he can get his revenge. I'm going to be a stinky bastard. I'm not going to shower.
And by the way, shut up. We're having kids in 9 months.
And we've come full circle.
Sorry, Kat.
Favourite film? What does she think your favourite film is?
Jaws.
Yes.
Is the right answer.
Yeah.
And finally, you could win this, Greg, if you get this correct.
Oh.
Because you're sitting at 3 out of 5 at the moment.
Okay.
First pet.
First pet would be Tootsie. How long did they last?
We have a winner. We have
4
a
out of
winner.
5.
4 out of 5.
And
Right.
you get my man. Well done, you.
Right, a very quick game of this, so it's exactly the same, but you're in the same room. So you've got a me and her
Okay.
little sign.
A little sign to hold up.
No, that would be for Greg, yeah. And you've got me or him.
Okay.
So the answer is it's either one of you.
Okay.
So it's up to you. And if you could hold it sort of in the middle so the camera could see it, that
Gotcha.
would be excellent, right? So the
Is that that show when they moved to Australia?
Yes.
Australia! Mate.
Okay, so your first question in this one: who is the best cook?
Oh.
No, that's it. That's right.
Right. So
you're both agreeing
It's
with Greg.
Greg.
Modesty.
Yeah.
Is he good, Jules?
Very good.
Is he good? Aye. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your specialty, Greg? If you don't mind me asking.
Um,
If I was coming around to your house tomorrow, what would you make for
I can
me?
do homemade chicken burgers. I can do a really, really good spaghetti bolognese.
Oh.
Really good.
There has to be a lot of garlic in it.
Loads of garlic, loads
Perfect.
of rosemary,
Get in. Yeah, I'm there.
pork and mince.
Yeah, brilliant.
Would you shower first?
That's what you said. Yes.
Okay, our
played.
next question. Who is most likely to embarrass themselves on a night out? Oh, both of you!
Oh, you've both said
You both said me.
Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, but who?
Never
Oh.
embarrassing.
Am I not?
No.
Come now. Come now.
No, I think that's lovely. That means you're equi-jakey.
Equi cheeky. That's beautiful.
Who is the best kisser? Oh, they both said each other.
Oh, that's lovely.
That is-
Kissing
Thank you.
yourself would be weird. Like,
See, some people think this is weird, and I've said this before on the radio. When I was practicing to kiss, I kissed the mirror. Was that wrong?
yes.
Yeah, that doesn't really count.
But then I could watch the technique at the same time.
People see your own teeth and all that.
Yeah.
Or you'd be looking for a girlfriend with a glass face.
Which, to be fair, it's nice if that's what you like.
We might cut that bit out.
Absolutely not.
It's so weird to keep it in.
I bet you go home and kiss yourself in the mirror now. Just
doing it.
to experience what I did.
But not when you're driving.
Yeah, Jill's in the passenger seat trying to kiss herself in the rear view mirror.
Finally, who has the most exes.
Oh.
Oh, both went for Greg. Okay.
Remember all that dry riding?
And he went through the entire cast before he got to you.
The Mountie.
Between the two of us, we don't have a lot of exes, actually. We don't, do we, really?
They're all coming out of the woodwork after this. No.
I went away for our anniversary last week, and Jules told me a story about how the night she had a dream about an ex-boyfriend. So I wrote it down in the card. I was like, happy anniversary, darling. You're as funny now as you were the day I met you. It's the thing that keeps us going. Maybe don't have a dream about your ex-boyfriend on our fucking anniversary. If I could maybe request that.
To be fair, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. It wasn't a dream.
By the way,
It was awful.
see when my wife has a dream about me having sex with somebody else. She wakes up and she's shouting at me as if I've actually done it. She gets really upset and angry, as if I've actually gone and slept with somebody else. But it's in a dream.
It's vivid, though. It's vivid.
No, wait, hold on. You have run with this. I wasn't having sex with my ex. I was getting arrested in America with him, and it was his fault, by the way. So there was no sex involved.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you were talking about there was like something going on in the dream.
No, and I woke up and I was lying there. To be fair, we were in a nice hotel. The story went on for quite a long time. I could tell Greg was bored, but I was like that. And was in the dream, and he was like that. And then half an hour later, we gave each other our cards, and he went away and wrote something funny. And that's where he put the PS.
Yes.
Because we can't be too sappy without then having a joke. So that was correct.
Yes.
Okay, do you know, I just think you're the dream team. You really are. There's so much fun and laughter between you.
You need to do more together.
Well, we're hoping to, aren't we?
I genuinely believe you have to. By the way, I know that we're doing a podcast, the
Could be
UNCUT.
your podcast kind of demo.
Yeah.
Because you have been quite funny.
Well, do you know,
See, for two very funny people on camera, you've been not that bad today.
we have this mutual friend called Gabe Quigley, who is in Chewing the Fat, and Gabe always, when she comes around our house or she's introducing us to anybody, she goes like that. This is Greg and Jules. By the way, I know that Greg does Still Game and Chewing the Fat and all that, and he's quite known for comedy. Jules is the funny one, and I have to agree.
I see. Before we get to, we've got the Bowl of Destiny, right? So there's a number of questions in the Bowl of Destiny. Now, before we get to that, let's talk about your whiskey. Because I asked you to bring your whiskey with you.
Did.
So can you please bring that bag up, which is down by your left-hand side?
The bag from Auntie Isabel from Kilwinning.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Auntie Isabel.
Beautiful tartan bag with some Scottish
So
stains on it.
obviously this is obviously on Spotify and Apple and all those things for your podcast providers, but we're also on camera and on YouTube. So think of this as your moment on QVC. Right?
Oh, gosh.
So there's a camera over my shoulder, and in that bag, would you like to present to the viewers and also to people listening what you have and what would make a fantastic Christmas gift for the people of Scotland?
Greg, you'll have to say Ford will be so jealous as he watches QVC all the time.
Oh yeah, can I tell a wee QVC story?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Ford used to buy stuff on QVC really late at night, and I'd come round his house. We were writing, Chewing the Fat and stuff, and the van would back up, beep, 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 and one day he's like, "Oh Christ, what have I bought?" He could never remember what he's bought and stuff like that. And he gets this massive box, opens it, he goes, "Fucking pots and pans! I don't need them. I've got pots and pans. Do you want them?" So I would leave with half the stuff that he bought. One day, right, he comes, he says, "I don't know what this is. It's 2 boxes." He goes, "One for me and one for you, I guess." He opens it, and it's a little glass case, and inside is a die-cast sort of car, and it's a Lincoln Continental, and he's got JFK and Kennedy, what's her name, Jacqueline Kennedy, in the car, and it's 2 seconds at Dealey Plaza before Kennedy was shot. This wee model. What the fuck is this? He went, "I bought 2 of them. I've still got one of them." And he's still got one, yeah. And we ended up putting it into Still Game.
Oh, right. Yeah. So it's in one of the episodes.
It's the one where Tam's trying to swap. He doesn't want to give us money for the hooch.
Yep.
So he's trying to swap us things, and the little model appears. And Ford bought them for the 2 of us. It's my pride and joy. I love it.
Do you not remember we did a phone on the radio once about that? It's things that you'd drunken purchases online, and the guy phoned up. He was a lorry driver from Fife, and he didn't, again, like you said, the van turns up and he's no idea, and there's a guy, it was 2 of them it took to carry it. He'd watched Ghost the night before, and he bought himself a full-size potter's wheel.
That's amazing.
Any way to put it.
I think Drunk Shopping would be a great TV show. I would love to watch that.
That would be good.
Podcast.
Yeah.
It could be.
So anyway, getting back to your QVC type moments with your whiskey. So there's a camera, Greg.
There we go.
This is your moment.
This is the Jack and Victor whiskey.
It would help if you spoke in the microphone, mate.
The Jack and Victor whiskey.
Was that you presenting on your
I was
arm?
presenting it like John Candy in Planes, Trains when he shows Casio. He goes, so there's the Jack and Victor whiskey. Very, very tasty. It's honeyed orchard fruits and sweet malted barley. Wonderful balance with a delicate peat smokiness, notes of fresh vanilla and oak spice.
And
there it is.
what does Victor think of it?
He loves it.
Does
Does
he?
he?
Yeah, he absolutely loves it. You want me to do the voice there?
Yes.
don't you?
What you said earlier, that's the only reason you're here.
Sorry, yeah, it's fucking smashing, Cat.
That should be the strapline for the whiskey.
Straight into it.
Can I just say before you reveal what else is in that bag? You sent me this
Yes.
to the radio station,
Yes.
and can I just say, beautiful.
Oh, grand. Glad you liked
It was beautifully presented. And the whiskey tastes beautiful as well. But my son, who is a whiskey drinker, he's 21, and he loves a wee whiskey now and then. He swears by this Jack and Victor whiskey.
Oh, well, that's great to hear.
Him and his pals at college swear by that.
Well,
And can I just say that I got fuck all?
That's for Cat.
Right, no, it's no.
No, not that. This
No,
is for Cat.
no, it isn't for.
I've got a perfume in here called Fuck All.
No, we're giving this away to the listeners.
We'll give it away as a
Did
prize.
you not get one? That's
I got one.
Loch Lomond Distillery has very kindly sent us a bunch of sample bottles, about 10, 15 sample bottles, and I was tasting them. We were in Ely. It was during lockdown, and I was sipping them and whatnot. I was like, God almighty, I was making notes and everything, and honey orchard, blah, blah, blah. And then I just kept drinking, and then I blacked out. And I woke up in the morning, and of the 15 bottles, one was empty. And I went, well, that's it.
That'll do.
That'll do,
Cat, do
donkey.
you drink whiskey though?
I don't. No.
Do
I
you
was,
drink gin?
no, I don't either.
That's
you
not
not?
for you either. Then.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing gin.
This is gin. Yeah, this is still gin. We brought this out, I don't know, it was about maybe 6-8 months ago or something like that for Mother's Day, I think it was. And it's a really lovely gin. It's got a lovely Parma Violet sort of floral taste to it.
Lovely.
You'll enjoy that.
Are they made in Scotland?
They're made in Scotland.
Of course
right.
they are.
It says it on there, yeah.
Made in Scotland. I mean, it is.
Made in
It is lovely, isn't it? It's a nice presentation you have there in regards to the gin
We're
bottle and
trying
the
to
whiskey
bring
bottle.
whiskey back to the working man and woman.
Yes,
you know
you
what I mean?
are.
You can get a bit snobby with the malts and all that. We wanted something that you could come home and have a wee dram.
That everybody can enjoy.
Exactly.
Correct. What else is in your bag?
What else we got? We got a couple of Jack and Victor glasses here.
Oh, I've got them in the house.
You got them?
Did you get them, Kat?
Got them. Didn't get them either.
I've got you one glass in here that says fuck and one that says all.
There for you. One says Jack, one says Vic. That's a disgrace.
And there's a little
Especially
Christmas
if you've got them.
gift
Yeah,
pack.
Kat.
Look, these are
Oh,
little-
look at that.
Which one of the bottles is tall and one of them is shorter.
Oh,
it's quite
that's
See,
clever.
that's lovely. I do like that'd be something you'd want in your stocking.
exactly.
From Jack and Victor, look at that wee gift pack for
And you can
Christmas.
put a wee name on it, exactly.
Fantastic. So, can we get you to sign these?
Yeah, you got a
before
pen?
you leave, and then we'll give them away on our social media pages.
Beautiful. I'd be happy
So,
to do that.
thank you so much for that. Much appreciated.
Well.
So, before we end the podcast, what we do is we have the Bowl of Destiny. And in the Bowl of Destiny are a number of questions, and you only get one chance to forfeit. So, if you pick the first question, you don't like it, and you don't want to answer it, you forfeit that question. But the second question you have to answer no matter what it is.
Okay.
It's one question, right?
Right.
Okay.
So, who wants to choose that question?
You
Oh,
go
it's a
first.
question for both of us.
Yeah, both of you have to answer it.
You choose.
I've not got my glasses on. You do it.
Okay.
Okay, and and don't tell us what the question is. If you forfeit it, we don't want to know what it is.
Do I
Okay,
get to
cool.
peek at it as well?
You get to kick it as well, yeah, yeah.
They can be fun, they can be serious. It's a total mix. If you like the question, keep it. If you don't, take another.
But you do know if you don't like that question, you must answer the second question.
Okay.
I think we can do better than that question.
Yeah, it's
I
not that
like
we're
it.
forfeiting it because it's
Yep.
just that.
Just get rid of it.
Go on, take another one.
Okay.
This one you must answer.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
He's going to kill me.
The Bowl of Destiny. What do you value?
Yeah, go on.
What do you value most in a friend?
Go on, Greg.
Humor.
Good one.
Loyalty.
We've got that here in abundance, haven't we?
Yes.
You've done that before. They've just done like a wee hand knocky thing with a firework.
Yeah, they
Everyone's going to boke at home like that.
they fisted each other, and then they did the fiery worky thing.
The fist bump came popular during the
Right,
pandemic.
because this is on camera.
Yeah.
Can the four of us do that and then do the fireworky thing? 3, 2, 1.
There you go.
What a beautiful moment.
Oh,
Look at how
wee Balamori sparkle.
Yeah,
Well, I like jazz hands. So my firework has jazz
Oh,
hands.
showbiz, that was a callus.
Well, that's it for the podcast.
Beautiful.
Hempy and Jules, I have loved every single second of that.
this has been
Ditto.
great fun. It's been lovely being here.
We've spoken for ages, and I have loved every second of it. And to finish the podcast, Kat is now going to play us out on her kazoo.
Oh.
Beautiful.
So we just have to admire this performance.
All right, okay.
The cat
Come on,
zoo.
Cat.
Kat. So Kat doesn't know what I'm going to request to end the show, right? But we just have to sit and admire.
Can't wait, Cat.
Right.
I've got 2 degrees. Do you know this?
Good on you. Listen.
So we've obviously got Miss Hooley here from Ballamore, and we've also got Victor from Still Game. I would like a mashup and a mega mix of Ballamore and Still
Like
Game
Glee.
to play us out.
The still game theme's quite tricky.
Oh,
Okay, you also got 2 of them as well.
well, we want the one that's on the telly in
Not the
Scotland.
knockoff one, the good,
No.
the other one.
Yeah.
So that's it for the podcast. Our thanks to Hempy and to Jules. It's now
Thanks
over
for
to
having us.
thank you. You're welcome, and thank you for the whiskey. And
very
it's now over to Kat Harvey to play us out with a mega mix of Ballamore
Come on, Kat.
and Still Game over the end titles.
As long as you join in.
It's really good. Yes! That was seamless.
Well done, Cat.
Come on, Cat.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Jules.
Thanks for having us.
Calvin Harris, you know where I am.
Brilliant.
Great fun.